Now let's get some rapid-fire response from our panel on these stories. The Tea Party Senate nominee in Colorado, Ken Buck, says being gay is a choice, but it's also kind of like alcoholism. And how's this for fair and balanced? Fox News parent company News Corp just dropped another $250,000 to help the Republican Governors Association get its people elected in the midterms. With us tonight, Joe Madison, XM Satellite Radio talk show host, and Ernie Istuk, former Republican congressman and fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Well, Joe, I'll give you the first shot at this. We know that Mr. Buck is not an expert on sexuality, that's for sure. Can a comment like this motivate the gay and lesbian community in Colorado to make sure that he doesn't get in? How does this play, you think?
It should motivate most of the voters, particularly independent voters, because he also said in an attempt to, moonwalk on this one, that he got nervous because he was on Meet the Press, which says to me, and it should say to voters, he's not ready for prime time. I mean, Ed, this segment can be more intimidating than Meet the Press. I mean, it was a very simple question that he quite honestly was not ready. And when you start spending millions of dollars, and you obviously have consultants that should prep you before you go on a national program like Meet the Press, he should have been prepared. He's not ready for prime time.
Here is the exchange on Meet the Press with David Gregory. Here it is.
Do you believe that being gay is a choice?
I do.
And based on what?
Based on what?
Yeah, well, you believe that.
I guess you can choose who your partner is.
You don't think it's something that determined at birth?
I think that birth has an influence over, like alcoholism and some other things, but I think that basically you have a choice.
Ernest, what would your advice be to Mr. Buck at this point?
There's a scientific controversy over what really is this relationship. A lot of same-sex activists want to say we don't have any choice because they believe that improves their legal position. If you look at the studies, scientists are still split over how much is genetics, how much is hormones, how much is personal choice. And frankly, some people in the same-sex community don't like being told that, oh, you can't help yourself. This is something you were born with and you don't have any free will in the process. So there's a lot of controversy. I don't know why David Gregory was asking a question like that unless his intent was perhaps to stir up controversy within that community.
Well, I know why he asked the question. He asked the question because it had to do with don't ask, don't tell, which is going to be voted on, hopefully, by the United States Senate. But Ernest, you should be running for senator of Colorado because you just answered the way the question should have been answered by a person who's thinking about being in the United States Senate. Well, don't go overboard.
Well, Ernest, there are people in the gay community that are obviously outspoken about this. They have no choice. They have no choice in this. I mean, this is a senator, or a candidate, should I say.
The science differs on that, but
tell that to a gay person.
Yeah, I mean,
tell that to a gay. When did you find out you were straight, Ernie? I mean, come on. I mean, it sets the table for discrimination, doesn't it? Doesn't it set the table for discrimination? I mean, he is going to say that, well, it's just a choice, so let's just keep, don't ask, don't tell.
But Ed, you're making a legal argument that is used by a lot of same-sex activists because they think they have a stronger legal position if they argue that I have no choice in this matter, whereas if you look at the scientific surveys, they differ on the answer to that.
Ernie, who would be in favor of being discriminated against? Joe, you want to take that one?
Is it based on what you do?
The question I always ask is where do you want gay people to go? I mean, you just want them to disappear. They have a right for insurance. They have a right for housing. They have a right to do in this country anything that they want to do. The Constitution doesn't speak to homosexuality, and if one looks at the history of this country early on, there were a whole lot of gay people that were in this country. So I mean,
we gotta go.
There's no constitutional guarantee to serve in the military.
Joe Madison, Ernest Istuk, good to have you with us tonight.